We're talking about practice. And we're going back to the Cleveland Browns, and we're taking another look at Dylan Sampson. Last time we looked at him with Quinshon Judkins. This time we're going to just look at strictly him, watch him work through some drills, catch some balls, and everything else. But before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at these players every day and what they're doing at practice. We're talking about practice here. Training camp, mini camp, OTAs, rookie camp. If you want to see what your players are doing behind the scenes, you want to see your rookies, what your vets are doing, those storylines, guys climbing depth charts, guys coming back from injury, it's right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're looking at Dylan Sampson today. We're going to watch these clips, loop them, keep talking ball, talk some fantasy football, talk some Browns. It's all here. 119 in clips. There's the feet. 119 in clips. There we go. Good feet. There's Gabriel. Got the handoff. Solid running back. Solid back. Catching it right there. Showing the pop off the step. There's Shadur. Dylan Gabriel. Tossing it to him. He's very smooth on the feet. We hit a bag there. We're still very smooth on the feet. One top rushers in the SEC. Paired with Quinshon Judkins. There's the feet again. And this is a big move by the Browns. There he is. There he is in the backfield. You see him zoomed out so you get a good look at that build. Dylan Sampson. What I like about Dylan Sampson, very productive in the SEC. Can catch the ball in the backfield. We're explosive. In high school, we ran to 100 meters in the 10s, so we got some pop in the step. We were hurt at the end of the season during that Buckeye game. That impacted our abilities to do workouts leading into draft season. We might not have an accurate 40 time on him, considering his 100-meter time coming out of high school, but that is also years ago, but also considering the injury. But we're back. We're on the field. We're twitched up. Considered a second-round talent, falls to the 4th round. Probably one of the main reasons why teams passed on him is we got a ton of good running backs in this year's class, ton of running backs to look at, deepest, most talented running back class of all time in the history of football. That's what we're from Ashton Jeanty to all the way to the 6th, 7th round. We're seeing dogs get drafted and selected. If Dylan Sampson was in last year's draft, he'd be competing to be one of the top running backs selected, like the first one off the board. Like, Jalen Wright's in there, so that kind of makes things kind of weird. But if overall prospect profile, the running back of the now, yes. One of the most productive Tennessee Volunteers of all time. There's also a notion that the NFL does not like Tennessee Volunteers. Like, they fall a little bit more in drafts. We see this, we see that. There's also a notion for that. That's another thing to say due to the system. However, 4th round comes around. You already got Quinshon Judkins. You're very ambiguous at the quarterback position. And you need a good run game. And Sampson's right there. I guarantee you had him graded higher than a 4th round, especially you had another running back there. So the Browns are saying they had him graded higher than where he was at in the draft because they already went running back. They paid a hefty premium there to get Quinshon Judkins. Now you got the Bash Bros. Quinshon Judkins is going to be the main hammer, but Sampson's going to get work. Sampson's going to get opportunity. I can guarantee you that. It's not going to be a huge role where he's getting a ton of work, but now you got a good committee here. This could be a committee that ends up being one of the better backfields in football. And Sampson might be best in the NFL with a role next to a stud prospect like Judkins. And this might be best for both running backs, health-wise for the long term. Like, this could be a great fit for both. This could be a great fit for Sampson. Like, I do not forecast Sampson as a guy, like, leading your backfield for 5 seasons, getting 20-plus opportunities, and being able to hold it down multiple years without getting banged up or losing efficiency. I look at him as being a good talent, but being next to a guy like Quinshon Judkins, I think this is just going to optimize his efficiency in the league. Now, when you're looking at this for fantasy football, one for redraft, the dart throw, and you're going to have rookie dart throws in the double digits this year, just a bunch of them. Like, in the double digits, you should just be hammering rookie running backs, especially those with decent draft capital, and you're waiting for the injuries, you're getting your handcuffs, and you get what your roster allows at that moment. And that's going to be different for everybody due to leagues, where you're at in your positions, how the draft turns out, who fell to you, who you like, everything else. Dynasty could be a steal considering the value of him going in the third round. And meanwhile, you're looking at him, you're like, how can he be a top running back? However, you look at the forest over the trees, however they say that. You're also looking at a running back here that could moneyball lineups. In the future. Has the potential for that. Because they had him regarded as a talent much more valued than where he was selected. At least by a round. At least by half a round. Because they already had a running back they paid up for. Sampson was there. They pulled the trigger. A lot of people thought hard on that. Sampson's a good prospect. He's a very good prospect. A lot of people had him high in the mock drafts in the rankings of this running back class. And like we said, there's a lot of different factors here that comes into play. You look at the talent here. He falls to the fourth round. The Browns say, we can't let this happen anymore. They doubled up at positions here. They also doubled up at quarterback. Quarterback position is going to be very ambiguous, so that could impact things while keeping the chains moving. Those quarterbacks are going to be very, very lucky to have these two running backs if any of them can hold down the position more than 1 year. They will be very lucky to have the stud backfield. Judkins and Sampson, the connection there will help these quarterbacks. The one who wins the job outright for most of the season will have this backfield lean on, and if they decide to go with them in year 2, next year, all these are new quarterbacks for the team. Technically, Flacco's back, so technically you can say not really him, but still. Whoever ends up the year starter, I say year starter because training camp, the answer to that may not be who finishes the year. We got 2 rookies who are in the mix. Kenny Pickett, who's in the mix, and Flacco. That sounds horrible. But we're looking at Sampson here. He's going to be great for this backfield. I look for Shedeur. I've been saying this all along. I look for Shedeur to end up getting his time. This team's also put together a go big at quarterback in next year's draft. Picked up that extra pick. And that looks like the strategy. Daniel Jeremiah just said that instantly on camera once that trade was made. Like he already had an idea. He probably already knew the trade and the results before they showed it anyways and had that thought up. It makes sense. It's a better quarterback class. It's deeper. There's more talent there. I don't look for Arch Manning to come out next year, though. I look for us to have the Bash brothers here at Cleveland. The Bash brothers. I kind of slurred that out. Bash brothers. Judkins, Sampson, I look for them to feed off each other. I look for them to be a good tandem for the long haul. I like Sampson a lot, actually. I like him a lot for the Browns. I think whatever they do at quarterback, this is going to help smooth things out. Having 2 young, talented runners, them feed off each other. One goes down, you got the other one. And Jerome Ford's still going to be in play this year, but not as much. Judkins is going to steal everybody's lunch. Sampson's going to do more than expected. Ford's going to do a little bit more than expected this year. But we're going to go young at running back here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Well, thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.